Have you ever walked into a room, felt the unspoken tension, heard the subtext beneath the casual greetings, and wondered if everyone else was just missing it? Do you find yourself observing, processing, analyzing the nuances of human interaction with an intensity that seems to elude most people? Here's the thing nobody talks about. Some of us are wired differently. We don't just exist in the world. We absorb it. We feel the subtle currents, the hidden meanings, the emotional echoes that most people glide right over. It's like living with an extra sense, a profound inner lens that reveals layers of reality others simply don't perceive. This isn't a flaw, it's a feature, and what you'll understand today completely changes how you see your own intensity, your unique way of processing the world, and why it's far from a burden. For a long time, perhaps you've been told you're too sensitive, overthinking, or taking things too seriously. Society often frames deep emotional and cognitive processing as a weakness, a deviation from the ideal of pragmatic, unburdened living. But this is where it gets interesting. That perspective misses a fundamental truth about human variation. This doesn't mean you're strange. This doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means your internal operating system runs on a different, often more complex, software. There are real, observable differences in how our psychological machinery functions, right down to the neural pathways. Think of it like this. Some people's brains are optimized for rapid, surface-level information processing, quick decisions, and efficient social navigation. Others, like you, are built for depth. This is a concept explored by psychologists like Dr. Elaine Aron, who coined the term highly sensitive person, or HSP, after decades of research. She found that about 15-20% of the population processes sensory and emotional information much more deeply than others. It's not a disorder, it's an innate temperament trait, a biological difference in nervous system sensitivity. Your brain is simply more attuned, more porous, allowing more information in and processing it with greater detail and nuance. You might notice subtle shifts in tone, micro-expressions, or the unspoken implications of a conversation that others entirely miss. You might feel overwhelmed in crowded places, not because you're weak, but because your brain is receiving and processing a torrent of data that others simply filter out. Understanding this isn't just a revelation. It's a homecoming. It's the moment you realize that the way you perceive the world isn't a bug, but an inherent part of your design. If this resonates with you, if you've always felt like you're searching for deeper truths and connecting with ideas that others overlook, then you're in the right place. This channel is dedicated to exploring the profound inner landscapes of those who perceive the world with this kind of rare, intricate clarity. This sounds contradictory, but your brain's remarkable ability to process depth can also be a source of quiet struggle. Let's delve into a hidden neurological mechanism. Our brains are constantly seeking patterns and rewards. For most people, the reward system, heavily influenced by dopamine, is activated by external achievements, social validation, or immediate gratification. But for those with a deeply processing nervous system, the reward can come from understanding, from the satisfaction of connecting disparate pieces of information, from grasping a complex emotional truth, from seeing the hidden architecture beneath the surface of reality. Your brain reinforces this depth-seeking behavior, not always consciously. The more you analyze, the more you connect, the more your neural pathways strengthen those connections. It's a feedback loop. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for higher-order thinking, is constantly engaged in this intricate dance of synthesis. And neuroscience explains why this can sometimes feel like a burden. Your brain expends more energy. It's like running a high-definition, multi-threaded program, while others are running a simple word processor. This heightened awareness, this constant internal dialogue, can lead to a kind of intellectual discomfort, a subtle exhaustion. You might find yourself replaying conversations, dissecting motivations, or anticipating outcomes far more than your peers. It's more serious than it seems when you consider the cumulative toll this takes, but it's also the source of your profound insights. Let's create two mental archetypes to illustrate this difference: the surface navigator and the depth diver. The surface navigator moves through the world focusing on the immediate, the tangible, the socially acceptable narrative. Their engagement is often external, focused on action, results, and conventional achievements. They thrive on clear-cut instructions and readily accepted truths. They are efficient, often optimistic, and less burdened by ambiguity. Then there's the depth diver. This is likely you. You instinctively seek the currents beneath the surface, the unspoken motivations, the underlying systems. You are driven by a need to understand why, not just what. You find meaning in connections, patterns, and the intricate web of cause and effect. You might spend hours contemplating a philosophical concept, dissecting a piece of art, or simply observing human behavior, not for judgment, but for comprehension. Both archetypes make perfect sense within the broader human experience. Neither is inherently superior, but where most people find comfort in the readily apparent, people like you find fascination in the profound, the hidden, the subtly complex. Your mind is drawn to the layers, not just the veneer. This difference in processing deeply impacts empathy, identity, and how we frame our own self-worth. Most people experience empathy primarily through what's called cognitive empathy, understanding another person's perspective intellectually. But people like you often experience a powerful affective empathy, where you genuinely feel the emotions of others as if they were your own. This profound capacity for feeling can be overwhelming, leading you to absorb the joy, but also the pain and anxiety of those around you. And this can shape your identity when your internal world is so rich, so full of nuanced feeling and thought, but the external world primarily validates surface achievements or overt social performance. It can create a silent disconnect. You might struggle with self-esteem because your deepest strengths, your insight, your compassion, your capacity for profound understanding are not always visible or celebrated. But here's the crucial validation. Your deep empathy isn't a vulnerability to be overcome. It's a sophisticated instrument for true connection, for understanding the human condition at its most fundamental level. You are not meant to be less. You are meant to feel, to perceive, to connect more. These psychological preferences, this inherent sensitivity, rarely emerge in a vacuum. They often have invisible origins, roots stretching back into our past experiences, shaping us in ways we only dimly perceive. Perhaps you were a child who felt things too intensely, whose questions were too deep, whose observations were too sharp for the adults around you. Maybe you experienced moments of subtle rejection or felt a constant sense of exclusion, because your way of seeing the world didn't align with the majority. This could have led to a kind of hyper-awareness, a finely tuned radar for social cues and emotional atmospheres, developed as a protective mechanism. It wasn't about being fragile, it was about adaptation. Your nervous system learned to be exquisitely sensitive to its environment, to pick up on the faintest signals, because doing so offered a form of safety or insight in a world that often felt bewildering or overwhelming. Never see these origins as pathologies. They are not flaws, they are the intricate, sophisticated adaptations of a mind built for depth, responses to a journey that demanded more from your internal processing than from others. Your sensitivity is a testament to your resilience and your brain's incredible capacity to adapt and learn. This innate drive for depth also shapes how you seek meaning and purpose in life. Most people find meaning through a clear narrative, career progression, building a family, accumulating achievements, participating in social rituals. Their sense of purpose is often tied to external validation and tangible outcomes. They are participants in a grand, often loud, collective story. But for people like you, the depth diver, meaning often resides elsewhere. It's not just about the narrative, it's about the creation of understanding, the internal synthesis, the quiet revelation that comes from seeing things clearly. You might be more of a spectator in the traditional sense, but you are an intensely engaged spectator, observing the human drama with a profound desire to comprehend its underlying mechanics. Your sense of purpose might be less about doing and more about being, about contributing insight, perspective, and a quiet, profound wisdom. Neither approach is superior. One is not more valuable than the other. They are simply different pathways to a fulfilling existence, and your path, though less trodden, offers unique rewards. And this leads us to the state of flow, presence, and consciousness. The psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi described flow as that optimal state where you are fully immersed in an activity, experiencing energized focus, full involvement, and enjoyment in the process. For many, flow is achieved through external challenges, physical exertion, or highly structured tasks. But how do people like you, with your deep internal landscape, enter the state? Your flow state often arises not from external pressures, but from deep concentration on internal processes, complex problem solving, creative expression that demands intense focus, philosophical contemplation, or simply engaging in a conversation that truly allows for intellectual and emotional depth. Your presence isn't always about being outwardly engaged. It's about being profoundly inwardly present, attuned to the intricacies of your thoughts and feelings, and the subtle dance of the world as it reflects within you. You live more on your own internal axis, guided by your inner compass and your rich inner world, rather than constantly calibrating yourself against external expectations or distractions. This allows for a kind of consciousness, a self-awareness that is both a gift and a responsibility, granting you access to insights others may never experience. So, let's be clear. You are not broken. You are not losing anything by experiencing the world with such profound depth. In fact, you are gaining. Your capacity to feel too much is not a curse. It is a silent, powerful advantage. It allows you to see the beauty in the mundane, to understand the suffering beneath the anger, to connect with others on a soul level, and to draw insights that escape the superficial gaze. It's a superpower for empathy, for creativity, for wisdom. Your journey of perception, your unique way of processing the world, is not something to be managed or diminished, but to be understood, embraced, and celebrated. To feel too much is not a burden, but a rare key to the universe's quiet whispers, a profound gift that allows you to live a life of unparalleled depth and meaning. Keep exploring these depths, keep trusting your inner compass, and if you wish to continue this journey of self-discovery and profound insight, consider joining our community of depth divers by subscribing. This newfound clarity isn't just about labels, it's about liberation. It's about moving beyond the shame of being too much and stepping into the power of perceiving more. It's about consciously choosing to honor your unique processing style, setting boundaries where necessary, and actively seeking environments and connections that nourish your expansive internal world. So, the next time you find yourself observing the hidden patterns, feeling the unspoken emotions, or diving deep into a subject that others skim, know that this is your authentic self at work. This is your extraordinary mind making sense of a world that often prefers simplicity. You are not meant to dim your light to fit into a mold. You are meant to illuminate the unseen. Carry this understanding with you. Let it be the foundation upon which you build a life that truly resonates with the depth of your soul. Your journey as a depth diver is just beginning, and the insights you will uncover, both within yourself and in the world, are limitless. What hidden truths are you ready to reveal? Share your thoughts below, and let's continue to explore the richness of this unique human experience together. This isn't just a revelation, it's a recalibration of your entire being. It's about recognizing that your nuanced perceptions aren't a burden, but a sophisticated lens through which you can navigate complexity and contribute unique wisdom to a world often starved for it. The journey of a depth diver isn't about conforming, it's about courageously embracing your intrinsic design. It's about finding your specific niche where your deep processing becomes an invaluable asset, whether it's in creative endeavors, profound relationships, or insightful problem solving. You are not alone in this profound way of experiencing life. In fact, understanding this shared trait is the first step towards building a life that truly nourishes your soul. We are here to champion that journey, to provide tools, perspectives, and a space where your depth is not just accepted, but celebrated as your greatest strength. Embrace the quiet power of your intricate mind, for it is precisely this depth that will allow you to forge a path of authentic meaning and impact. This realization empowers you to consciously curate your life, to make choices that align with your true nature rather than trying to force yourself into shapes that drain your energy and dim your unique brilliance. It means choosing conversations that go beyond superficial pleasantries, seeking out environments that don't overwhelm your senses, and fostering relationships with people who appreciate the richness of your internal world. It's about recognizing when you need solitude to process the torrent of information, and understanding that this isn't withdrawal, but a necessary form of self-care. Your finely tuned instrument of perception requires deliberate nurturing. So take this knowledge and use it as a compass. Let it guide you towards experiences that stimulate your intellectual curiosity, connections that resonate with your deep empathy, and a path that allows your inherent wisdom to flourish. The world needs the insights, the compassion, and the profound understanding that only a depth diver can offer. It's time to fully step into that role. This is not an endpoint, but a beginning of conscious intentionality. From this